I've come to realize that many believe that less than truckload is the same as partial truckload shipments. So in this video, we're going to explain the major differences between LTL and truckload, when to book LTL versus truckload, all the great benefits, and the information you need when booking in this mode of transportation. Let's start off with the major differences. We already know that truckload is door to door, in most cases, business to business, dock to dock, with trailers that can hold up to 53 feet of cargo, weighing up to 45,000 pounds. Now, when it comes to less than truckload, also known as LTL, we are now working off of what's called the hub and spoke model. With this model, shipments are loaded and unloaded at terminals throughout the country as it moves. Now, this may take a little bit more time when it comes to transit, but the huge benefit will be the reduction in price for your shipments. Simple questions such as, is your freight time sensitive, or if it needs to be dedicated, can help you make the right decision for your customers and help them save a considerable amount of money on their next freight move. Next, let's talk about when to use LTL versus truckload. Now, we touched on this a little bit in our last video. If you have shipments that weigh over 15 to 20,000 pounds, taking up more than 16 linear feet of space, then truckload is going to be your option. Now, with LTL, you're taking up less than 16 feet of space, and your shipments normally weigh less than 15,000 pounds. Now, I don't want you to just think about the 15,000 pounds and less than 16 feet of space, because some ship less than 100 pounds, taking up less than 2 feet of space. Another determinant factor on when to use LTL versus truckload can depend on your packaging. If your freight is floor loaded and not properly packaged, then you probably need a dedicated trailer. Now, when it comes to LTL, packaging is key. Your customer's freight need to be palletized, crated, or securely packaged. Remember, we're working off the hub and spoke model. So these carriers are utilizing pallet jacks and forklifts to be able to safely and efficiently move your customer's freight. The last piece on when to use LTL versus truckload is going to depend on your pickup and delivery window. If you have flexibility on the times you can pick up and deliver, then LTL is going to be a great option. But even when you're flexible, remember, LTL is going to offer you guaranteed services, expedited services, and the option to set up pickup and delivery appointments. Next, the additional services and benefits. Remember, when you're working with LTL, you're going to get services such as liftgate, inside pickup and delivery, residential services, and limited access pickup and delivery. Now, one thing you need to note is that each of these services come with an additional fee. So we need to make sure that we're requesting these services upfront when we're quoting and not waiting to request these services on pickup and delivery. Last, let's talk about the information that's needed when shipping LTL versus truckload. Now, we all know the basic stuff. We need to make sure that we know the pickup and destination information, the commodity, if it's hazardous, if it's of high value, and the weight. Now, we need all that information, but along with that, when shipping LTL, we also need to make sure that we're specific in the commodity that we're shipping. If the pallet sizes are different, we need to make sure that we find out the length, width, and height of each pallet. Same thing with the weight. If the weight of each pallet is different, we need to determine what the weight is of each pallet. And last but not least, we need to make sure that we're able to find out the freight classification and NMFC number. Now, when trying to determine the freight class and NMFC number, it is always wise to ask your customer for this information. Now, if your customer doesn't know, there are resources available in the Quote Factory system. One thing I want you all to take home. As long as you know what makes LTL different from truckload and when to use LTL, is going to make a great addition to your portfolio and an awesome option for your customers. If you enjoyed this content, please check out our last video, why you need to have LTL in your book of business. Also, please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.